we've officially finished our passage in the Atlantic Ocean to the Bahamas, and showers are like first on the priority list. But can't go do that until George gets us checked into the country, so I have to stay on this boat until he finds the customs office or wherever they clear you in. It hasn't been super clear, but maybe we didn't look it up well enough. I don't know, but he's on that mission, and I'm trying to tidy this mess behind us so that whenever he's done, we can go get showers and like take a walk and get off of this boat that we've been on for 5 days straight and without seeing land. Like, I just want to explore land. But if you've seen what this boat normally looks like, it's normally more tidy, although you've probably also seen a ton of laundry hanging up all over the place all the time because we're always doing laundry. But it's an extra mess. After having the boat on heel most of the way down here and all of the large confused waves pushing us in every direction, everything has gone flying. George took up the carpet because of the fact that we didn't get a chance to Velcro it down to the wooden part, so it was sliding all over the place and it was such a hazard. So since it's up, I'm going to take this chance to vacuum everything underneath and then wipe it down and get us extra spiffy and clean so that the boat matches us after we shower.
We are officially cleared into the Bahamas. It's actually the morning after we arrived. We arrived yesterday about 1:30, and it was about like a 4 or 5 hour process for me to get cleared in. It took a long time.
Forever.
Yeah, it took a long time. We've got a waterway guide that we were following, and it's way out of date. Like, the things they kind of tell you to do just don't work, and fortunately, we ended up staying at a marina.
Well, back to the waterway guide. It's a digital copy, so it's not like it's our fault for going out and buying away out-of-date one. It's supposed to be updated regularly.
Yeah.
So our copy is supposed to, like, update. And they just were like, hey, we did this 4 years ago. It's all the same. It's not like there's been hurricanes or, I don't know, a pandemic. Who knew?
Yeah, it was a little confusing and definitely led us in the wrong direction. But fortunately, because of the fact that the passage was so rough, we ended up deciding to stay at a marina for a night. And the owner of the marina was super helpful. He knew exactly what to do. He made the calls. The people showed up. And we actually got to do part of it here at the marina, which was great. But we got through that, so I'm very, very happy about that. And we're also just glad to be near land because we were talking to some friends of ours that we met back in Beaufort, and they did a slightly different route than we did. And on their trip, which they left the day after we did, they heard like 3 Coast Guard rescues. Over the radio, and then heard a bunch of other stuff that was bad news, some blown out port lights and some transmission issues and all kinds of stuff like that. Plus, whenever we arrived here and I was at the customs office, I was talking to a couple of guys that did the same route we did, and they said it was just terrible. They said it was the worst sea state they've ever seen, so it was good because Kelly kept asking me while we were out there, she's like, is this really like normal? And I was like, I don't know. It's been like 15, 20 years since I've done this, so I can't say for sure. And it's good to get down here and be like, because I had a gut feeling. It was like, no, that's not normal. Like, this just isn't how it's supposed to be out here. And then we got down here, and it reinforced that, no, it was not normal. We had a very, very bad passage, but we made it through. I mean, our friends were very relieved whenever I texted them last night. We made it. They're like, oh, thank God.
I may not have eaten for 5 days, but I survived.
Yeah.
I did all my duties.
Yep, that she did.
I did not just lay there non-functional. I mean, I couldn't. He had to sleep sometimes. I had to sleep, so.
Yep. We made it work. But we made it. I mean, I honestly, I'm kind of glad we did it. It was a little bit treacherous, and it was definitely intimidating, but it's empowering to have done that and made it through fine. And, like, I mean, it was a lot of wind and a lot of crazy sea state, but, like, there was never a situation, in my opinion, where it was like, oh my God, this is just going to be like falling apart. We're going to sink, and it's just the end of the world and all that kind of stuff. We made it fine.
Just a lot of seasickness.
Yeah, just a lot of seasickness. But
a lot of living outside. I did not come inside of this boat for at least 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wearing the same clothes for 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have come down and got me clothes, but like the idea of moving more than I had to change clothes was so gross that I was like, no. So.
Yep, but we made it, and we're actually going to get off the boat and go for a walk and see the town and all that. This is supposed to be one of the good provisioning spots in Marsh Harbor here in the Bahamas, so we're going to go see. And
just get off the boat and let everything from the closet air out and dry, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. I hope it dries.
Yeah.
Ugh.
One of the things that I didn't get fixed before we left was something up in the forward locker where all our hanging clothes are that leaked. And because it was in the washing machine of the Atlantic, it leaked, and now everything's a little wet and mildewy.
A little salty.
I gotta fix it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I probably knew in the back of my mind it was going to be like that when I went in there. I went in there because I was like, oh, it's time to pack my jackets up and put those in the little vacuum seal bags and bring out all my warm weather clothes because it's hot now. It's very hot.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be wearing anything that I was wearing before. But, yeah, it's more than just swapping clothes. It's all of it.
Yep, that it is. But we're gonna go see the town.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. I'm hunting down some beans because we got up and walked around this morning, and both of us are still feeling our medicine wearing off and everything else. And part of that's because of the fact that we haven't eaten a whole lot since we've been here, and part of it's just, getting off the sea and kind of recovering and everything else. So I'm trying to make sure that we eat, and I was thinking it'd be awesome to have taquitos because I've never actually made taquitos. She's mentioned them a few times as we've been out to restaurants or something like that, and so I figured I'd give it a shot and see what it's like. So I'm going to find us some beans so that I can whip up some sort of a filling for it, and then I'm going to whip us up some taquitos, and then after that, we're going to top off on diesel, and then we're heading off to our first anchorage in the Bahamas, which is going to be down near a really awesome snorkel spot, and I'm really excited about that. We get to drop the dinghy in the water, go explore. Really, really excited about actually getting out there and seeing it. And yeah, that's my situation, and unfortunately, poor Kelly is doing a little worse than I am, so... How are you feeling over there?
Bleh. But I haven't really eaten in like a week.
Yeah.
So, not because I don't want to eat. Well, I don't want to eat, actually. But not because I wouldn't normally want to eat. But I'm spinning. My head hurts. Nauseated all the time. Part of that's the fact that I get seasick. Part of that's the fact that I had that medicine, which made everything taste terrible. Everything still tastes terrible, which doesn't help. And the fact that I haven't eaten in a while also makes it so that I get sick. So it just all compounds. Ugh. I don't know.
Yesterday was really the first day that we actually had true food. We actually had a real lunch that was a pretty heavy lunch, and then we actually made a real dinner, and I'm saying actually too much.
You say actually a lot.
I do. I'm saying actually way too much. We've been talking about it. She's going through the film and all that kind of stuff, and she started a drinking game. Not an actual drinking game, but she was like, we need to start a drinking game with whenever George says actually. I'm going to cut back on that. So, to start again, yesterday was the first day that we ate a substantial lunch and dinner. Before that, it was all just kind of snacking and just finding things to fill our stomachs with. Yesterday I made some beans, and then we made some grilled cheese sandwiches, had that for lunch, and then for dinner we had a nice Asian dish, which was delicious, I thought.
Inspired.
And Asian inspired, yeah. I'm not authentic on anything, I just throw stuff together. Or we're not really authentic on anything, we just throw stuff together. But yeah, so we're working back into life and reality and everything else, and I'm trying to make sure we eat some lunch today. After we move, we'll be able to make some dinner. Also, we've got some bananas that we bought before we left on the passage, and as soon as we got out there for the passage, they got the crap beaten out of them. Just obliterated. And so we've got these great ripe bananas right here, as you can see them. Kelly grabbed them for us.
Poor baby bananas.
Yeah, her poor baby bananas. We have those, and I'm going to whip up some banana bread whenever we get to our anchorage too, which I'm super excited about because I like a good banana bread.
I tried eating one of these when we were in the middle of the ocean, but it tasted kind of spicy. Which I know it's not spicy, so I didn't know what was going on. Probably the medicine, but I got kind of nervous that like maybe I'm allergic to mini bananas, so I threw that overboard pretty quick and stopped eating that.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go hunt down my beans so we can get to cooking.
going over there?
It's great. Got some shallots and some garlic that are getting heated up, getting sauteed right now, and then I found black beans. I was hoping for pintos, but I found black. Those will be delicious, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna throw those in there and make just sort of like a pate type of filling for them. Tortillas are all warmed up. Kelly's got us a crema all whipped up, and she had to put garlic powder in the crema, which is what she normally uses, and I'm gonna flip it around to her real quick. How's the garlic powder doing?
I think it's reached its end of life.
They're little soft balls of garlic.
Yeah, so normally I do this, but they're like not dry clumps. They're like, I don't know, it's almost like clay from the ground. And so they're just clumped together. I put some in here thinking that like once you put it in here with like the lime juice and the sour cream and everything, I'd be able to mush them apart. I can't. So there's like, what are they called? Mines? What are those things that like submarines would run into? Mines?
Yeah, mines. Yeah.
Okay, so there's like little garlic mines in the sour cream where I don't think you want to run into that much garlic at once because I just can't. I can't break them apart. So George minced up a little bit of like actual garlic for me to put in there. So it's pretty garlicky. It's pretty garlicky. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. It's pretty garlicky if you run into the wrong spot, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yep. We got a little impromptu taquito lunch. Mm-hmm. There they are. There they are.
I didn't wait. I'm very hungry. They're very good.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. Fried them up. Just beans, shallots, garlic, some cumin, some chili powder,
Salt.
a little bit of oregano, salt, and then just made a pate out of the beans and then filled the tortillas after I'd warmed them. They're corn tortillas. Gotta go to corn. We love corn. Filled them and then rolled them up, fried them in a little bit of vegetable oil, and that's it. And then Kelly made the delicious crema, sour cream and lime juice and a little bit of garlic powder.
Hot sauce.
Then hot sauce, which her parents...
No, this one. They got us
That's
this one.
that one. That
Well,
one.
they didn't give us this one. This is like our 5th bottle in 2 years.
Several years ago, they went down to the Keys and they got this hot sauce, Marie Sharp's, and we freaking love it. Like, once we ran out of the first bottle, actually, once we got about halfway through the first bottle, we hopped onto the internet to find where we could order it, and then we ordered like 7 bottles of all kinds of different varieties. Ultimately, we settled on the orange and the green sauce are the best.
The orange is garlic pepper sauce.
Yeah, so they're
With
delicious.
Habanero, yeah. But we couldn't order directly from them. We had to do Amazon. I hate using Amazon, but the shipping would have cost so much more than the product, so we had to do Amazon.
Yep.
I think it comes from like Belize.
Uh,
Yeah, Belize.
Belize. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to dig in.
It's delicious. Yeah, I'm ready to eat.
The original plan yesterday was to leave the marina, which actually is right over here behind us. That's where we were staying last night. And we were going to head to Tilu Key. I'm trying to transition into saying it that way. It's spelled C-A-Y, but it's pronounced Key. But we were going to head down that way, and then the checkout process for the marina took a very, very long time, so we didn't actually leave the marina until I think 5 o'clock or so. So basically what we did was we moved, 150 yards and dropped the anchor right here. Spent the night right here. It was actually a nice little spot, but now we got to get the anchor up, and before now, the anchoring retrieval process was pretty extensive. So Kelly's at the back of the boat at the helm. She's operating the controls of the engine and everything else in case I need some power assist as we're going forward. And then also at the helm is where the controls were for the windlass. So she's the one that actually pushes the button to start to retrieve the anchor chain using the windlass. And then I'm up here with my sprayer hose so that I can clean any dirt off before it goes into the boat. And then I'm also the one that has to tell her which direction to go, when to retrieve the anchor chain and everything else. And it's a bit of a process because I now have to tell her, I got one hand on my sprayer hose, I've got to tell her which direction to go if I need power assist, I got to tell her when to actually spin the anchor windlass, and it was just a mess. It was never easily could communicate and whatever else. So what I did was I invested in one of these, which is a wireless remote. So now she's at the back and she's the one that's going to handle the controls of the helm and the engine and everything like that, but I'm the one that gets to control the windlass now. So I got myself a wireless remote. I just got to turn it on, and then I can press the buttons, and it'll retrieve it, and I can spray it down, so that way I can control the speed when it's coming in. If I need to pause for a second because there's a section that's really, really muddy, I can clean that off. And then if I need to tell Kelly which way to go, then I can use my hand with my remote to tell her which way to go. Should be a lot easier, I'm hoping. We'll see. We have officially made it to our first anchorage. Granted, it's not actually our first anchorage, but it's close enough. We stayed in an anchorage last night, but it was about 500 feet from where we were at the marina. So we have taken a little detour, about 2.5 hours to get here. We are on Tilu Key. We're in a nice little spot. We've got some winds that are going to kind of kick up over the next few days. And so we're probably going to be sitting tight here for a little while because we're in a perfect spot to be anchored. We're about little southwest of this little sort of cove area. And then just a little south of us is the Pelican Key Land and Sea Park, which is supposed to be some spectacular snorkeling. So we might do a couple of day trips down there. I think there's some mooring balls that are down there that we could pick up whenever we're actually going in the water. And then we'll wander down and just do a little bit of snorkeling and exploring and everything else. But we are finally exploring in the Bahamas. You excited about that?
I am. I'm very excited about it, and I'm glad we're somewhere where it's supposed to rain for the next few days. So we're somewhere where it would be nice to just like chill and get everything organized. I just redid the whole like spice situation because we didn't know where anything was. Chill, get organized, and I have a lot of footage to go through.
Yeah.
To get the next set of videos together and to see what we got from the passage. So I know George did some filming. I got a little bit, but like not a lot because I was just trying to like handle myself and keep my cookies down.
Yeah.
I wasn't eating cookies, but you know what I mean, the phrase, keep my cookies down. So it'll be good to be here and just kind of chill and get things organized before we really start diving into all of the good stuff around to explore.
Yep. So she's got to go through that, and then I've got a couple projects. I got to get our water purifier up and running, which is going to make our drinking water and our just water we're going to actually consume. I've got to get that. It's installed. I just got to get it wired up and get the plumbing connection. And then I'm also going to try and work on getting our water maker online, because we're now in the land where we actually have to pay for water, and it'd be perfect to just be able to make our own. The solar panels have been doing a great job of keeping our batteries topped off, which I'm really excited about, which means we should be able to, by noon, just start making water for the rest of the day, and the solar panels will keep up with all the consumption. So that's going to be great. But right now, she's in the process of making us some cucumber and dill crema sandwiches, I think.
I'm taking the crema that we had for the taquitos the other day,
Yeah.
which is just sour cream, garlic, lime juice, and salt. And I'm turning it into more like a cucumber type thing, turning it into like a dill type thing. Like, I don't know. Have you ever had like a cucumber dill tea sandwich?
A little tea sandwich, yeah.
So it seems pretty similar.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't Google it. Flavor-wise, I think it's gonna be great.
Yep, so she's working on that, and then I am making our banana bread finally. The bananas are just right for it. So it's bananas, a little bit of melted butter, some flour, some sugar, some vanilla, and a little bit of leavening. We do not have a loaf pan, so it's going to be kind of a goofy looking one. It may be like kind of banana bread brownies or something like that. But yeah, the oven is in the process of heating, and I'm going to get to work. Best part of baking? If you disagree, you're wrong. Just facts. Oven time. Sadly, it's like an hour cook time, which really sucks. And then you gotta let it cool afterwards, so it's gonna be a while. But at least we got other food we're gonna eat. Timer's going off. That means we get to check it. Yay! And also, I have a bad habit of forgetting to turn the solenoid off for the gas after I finish cooking. Kelly always has to come by and say, oh, I turned the gas off for you. So I keep seeing that it's on, and it's because the actual oven is on this time. And I just keep wanting to like push the button to turn it off. But fortunately, I haven't done it yet. I haven't killed it. I want to see how this is. We got toothpick. And oh yeah.
banana bread brownies look delicious. Here goes. In the middle. Comes out beautiful. Couple of dry crumbs. We're done. But now we gotta wait. That's the worst. Go for it. What do you think?
Oh, me too. It needs nuts.
Needs nuts. Fair.
Does a banana bread normally have like walnuts in it?
I think so, yeah.
It's still good. It's not bad.
Seems like it's cooked just right too.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I guess it's bread more than cake because I'm holding it like this and it's not falling apart.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have it.
I'm gonna dig in.
Mm-hmm.